Many people fail to understand that there are some very simple hacks we can employ at zero cost, which are going to improve our stack and improve the quality of our lives. So stick with me and I'll share some of these zero cost hacks that you can start to apply today. Six is think before you act. Many a great plan has been spoiled by poor impulse control. And poor impulse control is often caused by lack of forethought. Take time to listen to people. Count to 5 before you respond. Have a life strategy. Think it through. This will cost you $0 or cents. All you have to do is sit down and work out how to think before you act. Is own your values, or at least reacquaint yourself with your values. Sit down and write down, what are your values? Are they to have dignity in life? Are they to have discipline in life? Are your values things like hard work, honesty, persistence? List your values, start to own them, start to role model them, and start to live them. The zero cost on the dollar, you can own your values. Is let your yes be yes and your no be no. Originally from scripture, but more lately in reggae, you need to get yourself in the habit of not backtracking on your decisions. Because if you backtrack on your decisions, essentially you're just proving to yourself that you are a liar. And because you've lied to yourself so often, you are going to be very, very unwilling to follow through on the decisions you make. You have a simple, basic lack of trust for yourself. So you need to start teaching the world that your yes means yes and your no means no. And thereby, you start to teach yourself that your yes means yes and your no means no. Start to learn how to trust yourself. Life hack number 3, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Zero cost life hack number 5 is ditch the dead weight. Instead of associating with people who have low standards, who are in a race to the bottom, associate yourself with people who have higher standards and who are in a race to the top. Find others who share your values, who can state your values, and who can hold you accountable. It costs you 0 cash on the barrel. It's a very effective life hack and it will raise your standards greatly. Number 5, ditch the dead weight. It is cut the noise to signal ratio. Signal is the things that you need to do, the projects that you have to achieve, the important things in your life. Noise is all the other stuff, the distractions, the screen sucking, the doom scrolling, the social media, the dog whistles, the YouTubing, you name it. So, the highest achievers in life and those who can claim their frame are those who have a good grasp of signal to noise ratio. This means that once you've set up your strategies, don't just put them in the bottom drawer and pat yourself on the back. Get down to work. Cut out the noise, increase the signal. Improve your signal to noise ratio. Get fitter. You don't have to get jacked, stacked and shredded. You don't have to look like those muscle-bound icons that are so popular in social media. You just have to get out at least once a day, go for a walk. A 20-minute brisk walk is going to reduce your statistical odds of having a stroke or heart attack quite greatly. Get yourself a dog. Go out there, clear your mind. Drop some bad habits. Drop the sugar. Stop using milk in your tea. Get yourself back on track. Stretch. Do small incremental steps which are going to improve your longevity, your health, your balance, reduce your blood pressure, and just give you a more optimistic outlook on life. It is cost-free and it's something that everybody can control in their lives if they choose to do so. Get fitter. So here I am, in the second part of the long form, this is the part where most people have dipped out, lost interest, or succumbs to their low attention spans. I just wanted to share with you how I got to where I am right now with this particular video. My struggles over the previous couple of years have been plenty because I've been learning from scratch about how to become a creator and how to establish myself as a resource designer and as a life coach online, pivoting from education. What I've found, and one of my big takeaways of this last couple of weeks, is that we are useless without strategy. However, we can always form strategy in the ignorance of what it should be. Excuse the cat. By this I mean, I set myself up to do a YouTube channel and to create resources and to reach out to people using social media, misinformed largely about how much impact I personally could have. I failed to realize that I am less than a microbe in a bucket of seawater when it comes to how many people actively are out there on YouTube, out there on social media, and who may be in a position to access materials. So I decided to set myself up with a 24-month strategy to try and reach more people. This is the first long-form video that I'm putting out under this strategy. It is my intention to put out a long-form video each week at the same time so that you can set your watches by it. I'm going to try and follow the rules and the suggestions, the tips and hints that other creators have placed out there very kindly on YouTube. For example, we have retention rate, we have click-through rate, we have share rate. The algorithm for YouTube is an interest-based algorithm, and what it does is it will send this information to people who have similar interests. However, in order to qualify for that, you have to produce a video which is going to keep people engaged. What I'm doing here and now is not that. What I did in the first half of the video was where I timed myself to try and have little peaks of interest going through every couple of minutes so that people are less likely to fall asleep and wander off somewhere else. So, long story short, I am engaging in a long-form strategy here on YouTube. I am seeking to expand my global reach and to sell my resources and to sell my coaching to people. And I'm seeking to drill down to two main outlets. And those two main outlets will be YouTube and LinkedIn. I'm strongly of the opinion that LinkedIn is a very good place to go. And the reason for that is because people are going to be scrolling it while they're at work. It's the socially acceptable face of social media consumption. You can go onto LinkedIn and you can claim to be sharing information with colleagues. You can be job hunting. You can be CV building. There's any number of legitimate reasons why, while at work, you can be on LinkedIn. Nobody minds. So, I think that LinkedIn is going to become the new Facebook, the new YouTube. And also, let's bear in mind that people who are on LinkedIn are in employment largely, or wish to be, so they're aspirational and they may have disposable income. They therefore represent a very useful audience to anybody who is designing courses, designing resources, or offering coaching. YouTube too. The reason I'm choosing YouTube is because it is the second largest search engine in the world. Also, YouTube consumption has changed greatly. More and more people are watching YouTube on their televisions, their smart TVs. So what's happening is that YouTube is becoming a major source of entertainment. My prediction is that YouTube will start to nudge Netflix out over the next couple of years. There may be side effects of that. It may be that YouTube insists on getting paid for. Often, the way that these things happen is that a platform will extend its reach massively for free and then suddenly decide to charge. Well, when that time comes, that's a decision we'll all have to make. The final thing I will mention about this particular strategy is that it is an inherently flawed strategy. Just to recap, the strategy of using LinkedIn and YouTube solely to garner attention is flawed because you're essentially building your house on the sand. And by that, I mean you are renting space on platforms that own nothing. The platforms are designed to have retention and to keep an audience growing. They will punish you harshly if you cause them to deviate from that. But another side of this is that unless you can gather emails and take charge of your own intellectual property, you could post on YouTube for 10 years and then suddenly wake up to find it's all disappeared. So what I would recommend for anybody who is engaging in this form of presentation is to put a lot of effort into getting emails. And the way that I would do this right now is to encourage anybody to click on the link below so that they can go into my PayHip store and access the free coaching backpack resource, for example. Or I can create PDFs, which again can go over into Tally or Brevo, and then start my automated email sequences. At this particular moment in time, which is July 2025, I am at the inception of setting up my systems so that I can reach people more effectively. If you're willing to and you're interested in following this journey, I will put out long form each week, but at the end of each long form I will add a diary such as this, which anybody who's interested in sharing my ideas or offering ideas to me, well, you can participate. So like and subscribe, etc., 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 blah, blah, all of that. By all means, especially reach out to me and give me your email address, because I'd love to be able to put that into my back pocket for future use. I hope this is useful to you. I hope that it can show a more human side of what we're capable of achieving here. And I hope that next time I present to you, my cat will keep its paws to itself and not interrupts the flow at the very end. Anyway, peace out, fellow seeker. Catch you next time. Missing you already.